Hi, today I'm going to be sharing with you how I created an original composition for my new, now available on Threadless Halloween t-shirt. I'm thinking I'm ready to start left to right in the intelligent way. I'm going to start with the black candle over here and the flame. I want to use the straight edge of the white to start with. Okay, now let's bring in my mono eraser. I also have a mono plastic eraser. I drew everything with chalk pastel from Generals. They come with a little eraser that really works too. Okay. Yellow. And the white. And then we come back with the eraser. It's wonderful about pen pastels, how easily they erase. Just want to bring in some reflected light. Now, my bowl is purple, so I'm going to mix some blue with some red. And I do them in the palette, but you can also do them on typing paper or Bristol board or something matte, where you bring them out. And you can see the purple. If you want to have more red, add more red, a little more blue. And you transfer this onto your object. Just loading my little brush here. These are soft tools, SOFFT. touch the black right here underneath for the lip of the bowl, because I might lose it. Put some more red up here and some more blue. Okay. As it blends with that black, I have a shadow for the lip. Just move around these ghosts. Touch more of that black on the edging right here at the bottom of the bowl where it curves. Okay. And the bowl is done. Now I look at doing the candy. Little wrappers, little candy wrappers. And let's take a little of that red and a little of that yellow, a little more of that yellow, more. I like that one better. Take a dab of that purple in there to create shadows on the little packages. Before I do the touch of yellow, I'm going to do it down here on the edges and use my oval bag. Pick up that purple, make a little shadow. Okay, and some under there, some more of that shadow in here. Touch of the black, create a deeper shadow. Yes, I'm making candy corn, because what would Halloween be without candy corn? A little bit more yellow on the end. Give them the rubs. So that's a whole different kind of a ball game. This is a black watercolor paper. Let me and I let it fall into shadow. I'm just rubbing it into the black paper, and rubbing it into the black paper creates a grayscale of shadow effect on the white ghosts. Okay, now let me get back to this make-believe spider. Get that. The oval applicator is really my favorite. I'm going to give him bright, shiny yellow eyes. And then we're going to do black shadow in the bowl. It probably would be easier for me to do this with the pencils, but I really want to just do it. I think of these as paints, but then I also think of these as paint brushes, but I guess I could look upon the pencils as being lighter brushes, and then it would be more palatable for me. Yeah. And I think somewhere in here, I'm hoping somewhere in here I have a purple. No, I got grays, I got blues, and I got reds. But I don't have a purple. I have this blue. This is light blue. Excuse me, light blue. Okay. Now, going to move on to, we are moving on to our pumpkin. And I'm starting with red and ochre. Rather than just the standard orange, I want to use ochre for the initial layout and then pull in some yellows, highlight the creases. And again, I'm doing this in the palette, which is my favorite place to do the palette. I prefer to mix colors on the palettes themselves. I worked on the paper for your benefit, but you do whatever you want to do. Yeah, the ochre and I often mix the Zorn and the primary color palettes. I'm going to run the black along the edge here. So when I add more orange going down, it'll blend down. Okay. Having to be careful because I've carved out, drawn out the openings, the carving in the pumpkin. So there'll be a lot more light coming in. But Halloween isn't celebrated everywhere. It is celebrated here. They have a version of it that they celebrate in Great Britain. In Sweden,
they don't have a Halloween, but what they have is Easter witches, and the kids dress up as witches and get candy. I never got to do that. I was never in Sweden at the right time. I was actually never in Sweden for Christmas and never in Sweden in the spring. We went in the summer, we left in winter, but I was never there for those holidays. And they don't do Thanksgiving in Sweden, so that wouldn't have mattered. I was there a few times. I was there, I think, 3 times. Last time was when I was 14 years old. My parents went back a few times, but that was my last time. You know, I'd like to go back, but something I can't afford unless I'm taking a cruise, because I flat out refuse to get in an airplane unless there's some sort of true emergency. Flying is not the joy that it once was. And it once was an elegant method of travel. Now everybody's just trying to get as much of their stuff as they can get in those overhead compartments. They get too drunk, not all, but too many. They don't know how to travel with some common manners. Now, I'm not trying to do high super realistic here. I work in a freestyle, sort of kind of impressionistic. I'm not worried about super realism. Well, I wouldn't be able to do super realism or hyper realism. I do work in realistic methods, but not anymore. I'm done with that. I'm going to add white to this. There's a little candle in there. And this is a real jack-o'-lantern. And I really like working on black paper. It's sort of spiritual for me. Big Bang spiritual, the beginning of the universe. In the beginning there was darkness, there was nothing. Then you start adding light. Like the way that's looking. Okay, now I'm going to add a little red, a lot of yellow, white. I want to do this edging. It's a little off that color. Now, let me just stop this for a moment and I will work on the ochre, a little blue, to work on the stem of the pumpkin. Now let me move this one up here. I just want to bring up shadow from the bottom. The side furthest from that light. And a little more. Just moving back and forth. Our crow is eating a candy corn. Now, this was done from a photograph I'd done and was facing in a different direction, so I'm sort of making up the lighting on this one as it goes as well. Let me get the straight edge here. I'm gonna figure out how I want to do this. It's not so easy. This isn't going to be a finely detailed bird either. It's an indication of feathers, but there really aren't going to be feathers. And let me bring in that blue. I'm making this up as I go along. I'm not sure how I was going to deal with the color. I didn't want it to be solid black. I can't suddenly start doing fine detailing when I'm certainly not doing that with any of the other objects in the painting. I just want to have blue in the crow. Well, and when you look at them, their leaves are iridescent when they're in the sunlight, and there is blue reflected there. Okay, and let's bring in the black so I can blend it. And I'm going to use that light pencil for a gleam in the eye. And more, I'll just use the rest of the blue pencil here. Like that. Let's get the little guy over here. And I didn't need the pencil for that. There we go. You want to use, you can do that. Now, here with the white. Clean out the brush here. And bring in the cobwebs. I didn't want them to be so thin. of course, this is make-believe cobwebs, so. And I don't care about it being perfect. That's just not important. It's supposed to be fun. It's a fun Halloween. I remember Halloween. Well, we still do Halloween, but we put candy out for the kids. I may not do that again this year because of the doggies, but we'll see. I have to use the pencil here. Well, just a couple of pencils. Not bad. I think just a touch of highlighting on the stem. Okay. Touch more white on the okay. And let's bring in that eraser so I have a sharp edge. Okay, those are eraser crumbs. Let me step back for a moment. Oh, that is so much fun. Let me zoom in for you a bit. That really is so much fun. Took a little over an hour, not counting the initial drawing, which I did over 2 days because I kept adding things to it. But I am very, very pleased with this. I think this will be a very fun t-shirt. And appreciate your following along with me. If you're not subscribed to me, and if you'd like to see more of my work and know about it, then just click on that subscribe button, or at the bottom right screen, there's a little watermark of my darling Renard. You can click on that as well. Click on that bell to be reminded of new videos coming up, and I have new videos coming up a few times a month. And most of them will be in pastels, pen pastels particularly, because they really are just my best medium, and I find I have a freer hand with them, and I really enjoy that. So thank you once again, and if you have been following me, I really appreciate that you stick with me, and I look forward to a happy Halloween for each and every one of you.